Hello, just want to go over a few things that were found in Peru. I heard of some pyramids in Corral, Peru. They were just carbon dated this year. This area is 4,700 years old. 4,700. So, that's just a small little area they found, okay? About this large, and it's in and around cultivation humans that already live there now. They thought it was only like 500 years old, but it turns out to be a few thousand years old. So I just want to go over that and a significant area that I found in Bolivia and Peru, closer to Lake Titicaca, which was believed to be the birthplace of man by the locals there. So about half a year ago, I found this really cool salt lake, and it had the pyramids in reverse. So these things go deep, and they also line up with the Leo solstice. So it's probably a little bit in over most people's heads. But I just want to go over these really cool ruins that I found, which I believe are much, much larger than the ruins found in Corral, Peru. Much larger than anything else. I believe this was the first Babylon spoke about in the Bible. I believe this is where the Great Flood happened and Noah's Ark happened. And yeah, so let's just go over some of these ruins here. Take you in. So as you can start to see, there's some formation of rocks and pathways, structures and buildings, little tiny structures and buildings, just kind of very similar to what you saw over in Corral, but I want to show you the vastness of this. It's incredible, the amount of land that has been touched by man up here, undiscovered. There's no photos or anything of the sort taken up here. There's a few actually I found of the homes up there that I doubt have been carbon dated. Most of these little homes like this one right here, let's see if I can find a photo of them, are really, really cool. There they are there. I've yet to see any studies or documents on these homes, but I mean, they stretch as far as the eye can see. You can see up here, again, all touched by man. It's huge. The area is so vast. It's got to be hundreds of miles, bigger than Toronto. I would say millions of people. You go down in here and pretty much all this land you can see just little, let's see in here. Oh, here's a nice one here. Just people's kind of their land, their walls that they put up blocking their land. This could be the original Babylon that was spoke about in the time of Noah. There's tons of really cool stuff up there. I'd just really love to get up there and go take a look at it. Huge, let's see here. Even stuff that I'm just running into now. Maybe that's just a large rock, but you gotta kind of see that. I always ask myself, what would the world look like if it was hit by an enormous, flood? I would like to say it's, you know, a bunch of houses or things with no roofs on them, or just, you know, piles of rubble. And you know, you can see here quite clearly, you know, structures, everything. You know, tourists have been up there, took a couple pictures of these crazy things. You know, where's the studies done on them? See up here, it's all touched by man. So these guys are carving the mountains. Markava. Does that ring a bell? Anybody? Markava? I truly believe Mount Sinai is right here. I think this is it. Right here. What we got here? We got 5,720 meters in elevation. Pretty high up in the air. Probably one of the highest mountains on Earth. It's actually a stratovolcano. I can't remember what they call that, but there's a series of three, that surround this salt lake here. The salt lake is beautiful. Lots of pictures of it. You know, just really thick on salt. Sometimes it's water, sometimes it's thick salt. But you can see a lot of patterns in it, such as the pyramids. I also found a really interesting area here. It looks like spent salt or bad salt. Further looking, you know, it's definitely taken some heat. And then I found some interesting crop circle-like objects with a big giant metal object in the middle of it. Could just be water, or it could be something, but it seems to be a perfect circle. Around a circle, you know, a base. It's got a walkway out to it, and pretty interesting. Lots of interesting patterns inside here. But you know, again, when we just look at the pictures of people touristing, you know, they're taking pictures of the pretty animals and the clouds and the mountain. You know, nobody's paying attention to what's going on inside this lake, or nobody's probably even stepped foot in the lake before. It's a pretty remote area. It's a national park, probably untouched by man for a long time. This is one of the largest salt flats in the planet. Obviously, it's visible from space as this big giant white dot. So I mean, if this planet was spinning around and, you know, we were looking at it and looking for energy, and there's a lot of energy in salt, lithium comes from up out of here. This is like the, you know, #1 spot. This is where I would probably go. So there we have it. We have ancient ruins, undiscovered, possibly the original Babylon. I really like this here, this area here. You can see the water running down, you know, from the mountain. Kind of see the water pattern, you know, coming down, but yet there's some amazing, you know, cultivation going on, or some kind of, you know, there's something going on there. We put those rocks in a pattern at one point in time. So yeah, it'd be really cool to get up there and discover that. If anybody in Facebook land, you know, ever wants to go to Bolivia or Peru,